Vice versa. Vice versa. Vice versa. Vice versa. Vice versa. Vice versa. Hall of Vape.
White clouds, Hall of Vape is ready to blow. White clouds, we are ready. Are you ready? Go. White clouds, hands up if you're ready to blow. White clouds.
Hi.
Phil, nice to meet you again.
Good to
Dimitris.
see you again.
Hello, how you doing?
Good to see you.
Thank you very much for having us.
It's really a pleasure for us to have you here again.
The pleasure is all ours. You know, we're so honored to come and be a part of this show. Ira has been fantastic. Everybody's been fantastic, and we're excited to be here.
Always a good time, and the Vapors are very hospitable. Everybody's so nice, and of course the event is just a huge success.
I hope it's not too ridiculous to ask, but maybe you can introduce you by yourself a little bit in 1 or 2 sentences. I'm not familiar, but I think the most of the vapors will know you, your faces and so on.
Sure.
But please, for the other one, maybe you can get a statement or something.
Sure. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
My name is Dimitris Agrafiotis. I go as Vaping Greek on YouTube and various social media networks. I started off as a YouTube reviewer, and I've transitioned into an advocacy/activist role. I travel all over the world, you know, and I try to promote tobacco harm reduction. My specialty is talking to politicians and legislators about creating a regulatory framework to benefit vaping and keep it around.
Perfect.
My name is Phil Busardo, and I don't have a Greek accent. So I go by P. Busardo on YouTube. I also have a website called tasteyourjuice.com. I started vaping in 2009. I have been a very, very happy vapor ever since, and my videos are far too long. Yeah.
I think I have the same problem in the past.
Right.
Okay.
It's okay. It's okay.
Both are from the US.
Yes.
It's not your first time here on the Hall of Vape. It is the second or third one?
Second time.
Second
time. What you would say, what is the difference between the last one and this one?
Bigger.
Size.
Well, I mean, they need a wide-angle camera.
Yeah.
And I thought the wide-angle camera was just for me because,
it's
you
not,
don't need the wide-angle camera
I'm okay
anymore.
now, a little bit, yeah.
All right. But just the size, it's amazing. Although I think the size of it, too, makes the event a little bit more comfortable because people have a little bit more elbow room.
Yeah.
But even with that, some of those side halls are very, very crowded. It's just so impressive to see the amount of people in here, all the vapors that are coming out, but also some of the quality manufacturers that you have that we don't see in some of the shows in the States. A lot of the shows in the States have become liquid shows, right?
Yeah.
But when we come here, we see the beautiful Modders Gallery. Of course, there's plenty of e-liquids too, but there's all the hardware manufacturers and things that you may not get to see and touch and hold and feel. And I think that's one of the strong points of the show, because you're seeing stuff that you couldn't see anywhere else. You're holding stuff that you couldn't hold anywhere else. And I think that's one of the benefits of a show like this.
That would be my next question. So what is the main difference? You're visiting a lot of expos and so worldwide.
Yeah.
What is the difference for Germany?
Well, obviously what Phil just said. I mean, you have a great selection of modders here, stuff that you normally see online, that you have to get on lists to wait for, you know, to get them, or raffles, you know. But one thing that I will tell you is that this is one of the most organized shows from anywhere that we visit in the world.
For sure.
From the way that the organizers have everything set up, the way that they do the conferences, the way that they have the traffic of flow, people coming in. We were in an event in the United States not too long ago. People had to wait 2 hours outside with 1/10 of the amount of people just to get inside. So I think that's very, very impressive, and I think that's one of the reasons why it's so successful as well too.
And the other thing too is the schnitzel is amazing here.
It really is.
Much better than the other shows.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
And by the way,
like
he still can't say schnitzel.
I can't.
Try it. Go ahead.
Schnitzel.
See?
Okay.
Can't say it.
So you mentioned now the positive points of the German Vape Fair here on the Hall of Vape 2018. But is there some room of improvement that you would say what we could do better in future?
Yes.
Sure. Well, I know Phil's going to touch on the smokers, so I won't. But I will tell you one thing that we really need to pay attention, and that is the marketing. Because in the United States today, we have a big problem with flavors because of the marketing of the products. A lot of the companies did a lot of stupid stuff that forced the government to come and try to regulate flavors. So I'm seeing some of that the last couple of years here in Germany expand as well too. I think we need to be more responsible with the marketing of the liquids, what we put on the label, That way, the government can't say, oh, you're trying to sell this to kids. We know we're not selling it to kids, but the perception of vaping needs to be more mature. So we need to step it up a little bit.
I totally agree, and I was going to say exactly the same thing. You know, we can stand in front of government officials and we can argue the science all day long, but when they hold up that kiddie, childish-looking label or that childish look, we can't defend that. We can't defend that. And in my opinion, we're taking what is really a life-saving medicine and we're turning it into a game. Right? And we need to be more responsible and we need to get rid of some of these labels. I mean, look, Ira has people lined up for this event. He can be choosy. He can say, this does not represent vaping well. Let's go to another guy. Yeah.
And also the smokers, I think, is something that we need to do a better job of inviting them inside. Germany has a great thing. Everybody in Germany walks around with these big, and I love that. I think that's great, you know, but a smoker, when they see that, they're intimidated.
He's a little bit shocked that I don't want to do such a big device.
Yeah.
So we need to do a better job of welcoming smokers in, make them feel comfortable, explain what vaping is, get them something small to get started, and then let them go and ease their way into this, right?
It's the same with the cloud chasing or big clouds outside. I say often that's a wrong trend. That gives a wrong picture of vaping in the public.
Right.
I say, if you see old men, women or something, and you see all the big clouds, the big devices, there are a lot of resistance about the vaping. Say, that's not my world, I don't want to do that. Yeah?
Correct.
And there's definitely a market for that. And we have to...
Yes, of course. I don't want to say it's bad.
Right. We always have to remember that even if you're vaping like that, you're still not smoking, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
But the perception is it might be frightening to a smoker, and that's always been the challenge in this industry. Is it's very easy to market to vapors, it's very easy to talk to vapors, but how do we reach more smokers? And I think that's so important.
And that was also a discussion with Dr. Nussbaum before. He said more or less the same. It would be great if we could invite smokers to such a fair. Yeah?
Right.
Not that we're only here in our community. We are all vapers. We know the benefits from vaping. Yeah. But how could we invite? How we can interest the smokers to visit also such an exhibition to see the benefit of vaping. Yeah?
So I'm going to suggest to Ira for next year that we take one corner of the hall and we put a tent where people can't see out. And we invite smokers to come into this tent. We have existing vapors that are sitting inside and we match them up one on one.
Yeah.
Sit down, talk about vaping. What do you smoke now? How much do you smoke? Do you like a box? Do you like a tube? Find a right piece of equipment. Educate them first. Yeah. And then after they spend 25, 30 minutes in the tent, then we can take them together with a vapor and start walking around. Because a smoker by himself in here gets lost.
A little bit lost and shocked.
Very overwhelming. Very overwhelming. And it takes time. To convert a smoker over to vaping, I mean, this is all new for them, right?
Yeah.
So it's going to take time. It's going to take hand-holding. It's going to take a certain level of education. But like we said, if you walk directly into this, it's like, oh my God, it's so overwhelming. Where do I even start? We have to help them with that starting process.
Correct.
So I heard you was one of the first reviewers that reviewed one of the new ultrasonic devices.
Yep.
I'm really interested in, but I have no one. But what would you say? Sorry for that, but I didn't see your video yet.
No, it's very long anyway, don't worry about it.
Yeah, but I know that. I love
that. You know, if you had done your homework, you would have watched the video.
Of course. Sorry for that. But what was your conclusion about this device?
Not ready for prime time yet.
Yeah.
Not yet. But let's not forget, I mean, vaping started in 2006, right?
Exactly.
Look at all the years that we've had to develop it, and look at how bad it was then and how great it is today. The ultrasonic, that's the first one. That's day one. Day one of that technology.
New technology.
Right. And although, okay, so the heat up time, I thought the heat up time was way too long. I didn't get a fully saturated vape. I was getting no throat hit. It's more of a direct lung and not a mouth to lung. So for me, I can't really use it anyway. But it's day one. And although I don't think it's there yet, I don't see any benefit with the technology other than, well, maybe it's safer. I don't know. We need to see studies on that, right? But for day one, I commend them. I commend them for trying something new and doing something new and bringing something new out to, because it's been wick and wire for so long now, right? And to have something new, to me, that's exciting. I mean, when I opened that up and I broke into the
cartridge or
oh, that's
something.
right, you didn't
The
see it.
container,
That's right, he didn't see. I forgot about that. But when I broke into it and I pushed the button and I saw the E-Liquid Dance on the, I was like, oh my god, I was excited about that, right? So yeah, I'm excited to see where that goes, and not only that technology, but other technologies as well.
Yeah, I think that we're just breaking the ice. You know, the perfect electronic cigarette has not been invented yet. Obviously, there's millions of smokers still out there, right? So we're still a long way away from that. But it's great to see people attempting that. But also, we got to make sure that the technology works well, because we don't want to have a bad experience for a smoker. Right. So we need a little bit more testing on it. I think that there is something there. I think it could be very beneficial in the future, but it's still the early stages. So take everything very lightly. Let's not be harsh against it. Let's not be mad. Because vapors, you know, sometimes they're like, oh, it's no good.
That's junk.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Let's be a little bit more understanding and open-minded, because eventually it's going to get better and better.
Yeah. I'm totally with you, Other things where I did not my homework, what you say, big innovation, something new on the market, what you would like to mention? Is there something other new?
Well, I'm going to tell you about, because me and Phil design product, for us, it's not so much about innovation. So much for us is to make vaping easier, hassle-free, error-free. Try to make vaping easier for smokers, right, Phil?
And I agree. And the thing that I like seeing happen right now is kind of a return to mouth to lung. We see all these new PON systems coming out. We see nicotine salts with higher nicotine levels, and I think that's really good, because I think it's a more similar experience for the smoker, right? If you take a smoker and you give them a direct lung device, it's something so foreign to them. And don't get me wrong, I don't care where they go. I don't care if they start with mouth to lung and they go to direct lung and they go to sub-ohming and they go to cloud chasing, but we got to get them as a vapor first. We got to get them off of that traditional tobacco cigarette. So that's some of the things that I really like to see.
That's also the same thing. If I talk with a smoker and he wants to change to e-cigarettes, in the beginning I can't understand. The most ask for a tobacco liquid. I say, why? That's not the right taste and so.
Right.
But I learned it makes no sense to convince him.
Exactly.
Give him the tobacco liquid.
Right.
Yes.
It needs 2 or 3 or 4 weeks or 3 months.
Correct.
But then he will change to other flavors and see the nice taste of the other flavors.
Yeah.
And I really think, I think that's what happens. I know when I first started vaping, I didn't care about flavors. I wanted that one liquid that tasted just like my cigarette. That's the flavor that I want.
Every time.
That's the beginning. And then it wasn't very long after that I was like, I could smoke a watermelon, I can smoke a peach, and I'm still using smoke back then, right?
Yeah.
And then the world of flavors opened up to me, and it's like now it's so exciting. It's so exciting that we have all of these flavors available to us, and it's also one of the very important reasons that we need to keep these flavors around.
Yeah.
We need, because it keeps people excited, it keeps people engaged, it keeps people off of cigarettes.
I think we have a gap. If you look at sub-ohm, for example, there's at least 5,000 tanks on the market, constantly a new sub-ohm tank. But the beginners, they lack. So we need more and more devices to get people excited about vaping and satisfying. And after we get that, let them go wherever they want to go. That's fine. Let them go on their journey. But we need more beginner products that are products for people to quit smoking. And I think that is innovation. That's not necessarily a different wicking material, but more satisfying and more options, so they can choose something that's going to help them quit smoking.
And I think 90% of the market are especially these beginners. We say, or often I hear, the community that are the real vapors.
Right.
But I'm not convinced from that. I think 90% outside of the vapors never would visit such an exhibition, never would go in an online shop or something. They have their offline shop in the near, and go there and get there the support. And I think that is the biggest group of vapors.
Yes, I agree.
It is.
I agree.
It is. You know, I mean, it's not what you see. So if you were to walk in, you were to have a certain perspective of what vaping is. But this is not necessarily what vaping is.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, what vaping is the mom and the pop who goes in and they just buy their liquid and they buy their coil and they walk out and they're just happy. They're just happy not to be smoking anymore. And we need to keep those people in mind.
Exactly,
Yep.
exactly. Okay, then thank you for this interview, that you take the time.
Absolutely.
It was
for
really a
having
pleasure
us.
for me and an honor.
Get out of here with the honor stuff. Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
Phil,
Thank you, Dick. Nice to see you always. Thank you very much.
I hope we have the chance to drink a beer in the evening on
Absolutely, we will. Yes.
Or 5.
That
Yes.
is a good idea.
Yes.
I'm with you, and I will pay.
All right. All
Thank you
right.
very much.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Enjoy the evening.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye bye.
Vice versa, vice versa, vice versa, vice versa.